guys? Welcome to another episode of Snagged Podcast and Giveaway. Sorry we weren't there last week. There's a good reason for that, because you were not in the state.
No, I wasn't, and I was hardly in service too. Went over to Victoria and met up with one of my good mates, Jed Rouse, from Rousey's Fishing, and we went and did some Murray cod action. So we went and we fished sort of high-ish country, Victorian, clear rivers, did some Murray cod, and yeah, it was wicked. I think ended up with about, I don't want to say it, but I ended up with about 6 or 7. I don't want to say it. I didn't want to say it. But yeah, it was around that mark. We sort of did a lot of work filming and all that jazz, and I think I spent about 15 hours editing last week to get a Murray cod movie up on Fish Australia. But yeah, no, it was an awesome trip. I also ticked off another fish that I was really wanted to tick off. And
now you did a lot of video watching, getting yourself ready, research into what you did.
Yes.
Stole all my big tackle bags to take with you, bought a heap of stuff for yourself, bought a heap of stuff over there.
Yes.
How hard were they to catch?
Well, so they're called the Fish of 1,000 cast. We got there at about 1:30 in the morning. We got to our spot. We went for a fish, and we went for a fish for about 40 minutes.
Yep.
I'd hardly call it a fish. I'd call it me remembering how to use a bait caster.
Oof, tough times.
And then we woke up at 5:30 and walked, and I think I ticked my first one off by 6:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. So we've got 100 casts, 200 casts?
I think probably about 40.
40 casts?
Yeah, so
Murray cod, not that hard.
And then my next one came in another probably 20. And then after that, I lost one probably about 40 casts later that was over 80, 85 mark. That was pretty cool to see on top water. And then, it's just all like fishing your windows. It's not really much different to trout. Like, say it's the middle of summer. Okay, you've got a 35-degree day. When do you think a trout's going to eat? Do you think it's going to eat nice in the morning where it's still, it's warm enough that they're going to be up and active, but it's also not 35 degrees and they're going to go, screw this, I don't want to eat anything, I just want to hide all day. So we'd fish from like daybreak to 10, 11, depending on the day and how hot it is and cloud coverage and stuff like that. And then when, the cloud coverage sort of disappeared and the sun came out and it was all over the river, we'd go, screw this, it's time for a coffee. We'd leave it. And then we'd wait till it got to, 4 or 5 o'clock sort of thing. And then we'd go again when it's not really.
Yeah, so you're not fishing. You're fishing the bottom windows.
Yeah, it was still warm, but like not 35 degrees warm.
Yeah.
And the fish were much more active at that time. Like, plus, it also helps. Jed Rouse has done 4 or 5 years of just serious Murray cod fishing, and then I think it was about another year or 2 before trying to work them out, sort of thing. So, like, he's definitely got them figured out, and I listened a lot to what he said. He's like, "Yep, I'm going on top water now," and it's like, well, I suppose I'm doing the exact same thing. But yeah, no, it was an absolute awesome trip, and yeah, like I said, we ticked up one other fish that some people may be a little bit concerned to why I wanted to catch one, but we ticked that off, and that was cool. So that's the next video. But then apart from that, that's going to be basically.
What was the fish?
I'm not saying.
Well,
I'm hiding it.
I've got some ideas.
Yeah, well, you saw the photo. So
yeah, so I've got a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Lake Sorrel style fish.
Yes, that one.
From back in the day.
That one.
Excellent. Oh, good. Well, it seems like a good trip.
Yes.
That's awesome. So good job. It's nice to go up there with someone that knows what they're doing, has put the time and effort in, and credit to them for getting onto those fish relatively easy, even though you did walk a lot of kilometres.
We did, 20 kilometres the first day, 18 the second, and then the third day we fished the morning and then basically just cruised around and went to tackle shops and did all that jazz. But so I think we ended up over 50 k's for 3 days.
Nice work.
And it was all blackberry bushes, deep water. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the video, but nearly drowned because I tried to carry a bag that wasn't waterproof across the river above my head, and then the riverbed just disappeared, and next minute. It's actually pretty hard to swim without using your arms. Like, believe it or
Oh,
not.
Well, I guess, that just shows you too, sometimes, they'll always be safe, but sometimes if you're going to go and want to catch these fish in areas like this, you've got to put the time and effort in to do it. And you guys, you're young enough and fit enough to be able to go and sit there and do, ridiculous amounts of kilometres there to get these fish, and you might as well make it the most of it. It's funny what you're talking about with people that know what they're doing. I remember when I was probably 20, 21 years old, I wanted to catch barra, ended up going up North Darwin with a guide called Lance Butler, and I had put so much time and effort in and learnt everything about barra, and I went out with him and I got one on my first cast.
Yeah.
And then my third cast, then my fifth cast, and then my 10th cast. I was like, the guide makes a lot of difference. Yeah, absolutely. So, credit to the boys. I'm glad they got John on. All right, let's talk some fishing. What's happening? What do we got here? Eaglehawk next, still producing some decent bluefin tuna. A little bit quiet down there. They've been jumping around, especially off Tasman Island. A couple of guys have been talking about if they're jumping that close to Tasman Island, how great would it be to get on Tasman and get one off the shore?
Yes.
Quite an achievable thing. So awesome to see that they're pumping along. Nothing really small. They all seem like 60 to 160 kilos.
Yeah. Nothing in between.
Absolutely.
We got Aussie salmon still in good numbers in the channel when they're doing.
Yeah, they're pumping left, right, and centre. Silver slices for the win. Pretty good squid off Den's Point. Some reports the occasional arrow squid in amongst them too. We haven't seen arrows for a while. So they're always a bit of fun. Calamari eat better, I think, but it's still fun to get a few good sized arrows.
We got Betsy Island and Storm Bay fishing very well for gummy sharks, squid or octopus as the bait.
Yep, I had a few guys in over the last week and a half saying that they're smashing the gummies out of Betsy Island and obviously in the middle of Storm Bay there. And they're good fish too, well over a metre, a lot of them. So that's awesome. Some decent snapper starting to be caught in the lower reaches of the Tamar, your old haunting ground. I don't know a lot about the Tamar fishery itself.
Tell you one thing, I didn't find anything out about the Tamar. I don't know how to fish it. I figured out how to catch whiting in one spot, and that's basically about it.
So
that's all I got for you.
Well, someone's been catching it, it's not you.
Yeah.
What do you got there? Kingfish in the north starting to show up, in particular the northwest, with some awesome fish, 850 to 900 long. And I've seen some recently after I wrote this, over a metre long. So that's cool. It's good to see we're getting those big fish down here for a change. It's awesome. So bring it on.
And we also got reports of kingfish down south as far as Tribunna.
So they are literally moments away from being down here. So.
Which, I had a look at the weather charts today, and it's 17 off St. Helens, and it's as soon as it hits St. Helens, that's where it just zips down. And then so definitely next week or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll be popping up.
What else we got? A report from David Sheriff up north. The snapper guru himself has been getting some epic snapper in the north. Not quite sure of the area because he would have told you. He told us everything when we did that interview there, but not the specific area. So he should keep them secret because they snapper are awesome. So awesome work there. Trout. Those things up there. That's it. What do we got there? Bronte starting to fish pretty well. Most guys staying out in the middle of the lake itself. So if you guys trolling Tassie Devils, deep diving lures and jigging plastics on the bottom, not a lot around the outside, but most of them seem to be in the middle for whatever reason that be. That's where they are. What else you got here?
We got Lake Crescent fishing well, decent sized fish coming out of it. Lewis Choice, Black Magic, Spotted Dog, and TFS. Goldie bibbed minnows. So,
heard anything else on the trout scene?
Obviously, Trout Classic was on 2 weeks ago, which we sort of missed because the report we were meant to do on it was
when you were away.
When I was away. So we ended up coming 5th, which we had we definitely had the opportunities to work our way up a little bit further. I think we had some we've just on Great Lake we were fishing your big fish style areas. We were fishing the islands, we were fishing areas with a lot of current and rocks and stuff like that, fine in those areas, and we lost some pretty decent fish, hook up, drop a bit of drag, come off before we see it, sort of thing. And we ended up 10th after day one, which sort of I didn't think our bag was too bad. We had 213, which it's not great, but I was thinking with the year we've had, you've had a lot of people go out and struggle to catch a trout, let alone 5 over 2 metres. So I didn't think we did too bad, but then saw the scorecard and just saw us go down one and down one and down one. It was ooh.
No.
But Arthur's, I knew that I've always seen to find fish in Arthur's pretty well, and plan was to go up and fish a bay that I usually always fish up the top end of Arthur's, and then leaving from 10th, the first 9 boats went up, and I'm like, not today. I went down and fished the islands in Hydro Bay, and I think we saw probably about 10 fish follow to the boat before we actually had one eat, and then hooked up to one, and then snapped it off, and that was the video that you were talking about me earlier.
With your rod when you got a bad for losing the fish.
Yes. And the rod got thrown, but lucky it was a Shimano and it was still alright. And then after that, changed up to a smaller hard body profile, and then we got 2 pretty quick succession, and then I lost another good fish. So good little trait here of losing decent fish. And then after that, we went and fished a couple other spots trying to get them to bite, and we just couldn't couldn't get them to bite. And from what we were talking about, everybody had a pretty slow sort of midday sort of thing from about.
Well, I remember watching the leaderboard jump all over the show. Yeah. Yeah, I think like day one, Lowy and then were like they were up the top, and the next day they didn't drop right down. Yeah, it's like,
and then so we lost one really good fish early, and then didn't see a fish for like 3 hours, and it was 11 o'clock. Managed to get 2 in 2 cars, so I was pretty happy with that. And then we just needed one more to finish the bag, and I think we dropped 4 or 5 before we actually got that final fish. And one of them was yet again another fish, and it's like, it doesn't sound like a 50 centimeter.
One of them was another fish.
Another good fish. A 50 centimeter fish is like, it's something that, like, you look at and you go, yeah, no, that's great. But then when one of your fish is 30 centimeters,
averages,
and you've got 50, like, that's 20 centimeters. Like, for us to move 20 centimeters, we go from 5th to 3rd or 2nd.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing how, like, the size difference just from, it's only 10 centimeters, but that 10 centimeters can be a huge difference. And then, so we ended up finding our 5, and it wasn't a terrible bag. I think we might have been like the 5th best bag overall in Arthur's. So a lot of people struggled. A lot of people didn't get their 5. But the one thing I just wanted to say was, after a real tough day of fishing, losing a lot of fish, blah, 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 getting crabby, I was like, right, filming an outro for the video. Righto, guys, last cast for the 2025 Trout Classic. Cast out. Crank. Pop. Lost fish. Better have a couple more casts.
It's never your last one, is it?
Yes. So, but was pretty happy with the outcome. Ended up 5th. It was a lot smaller field this year, but, still, we were one off a prize, so can't really complain coming from 10th after day one.
Absolutely. Awesome work.
Yes.
All right, let's run into some brags. Okay, cool. Well, first before I even do what's written down here, I feel it's the time for you to brag about your Murray Cup. Right. Picture here, picture there, picture over there.
Yeah, so we'll throw 3 up, 6-7 Murray Cup.
6-7 Murray Cup.
As you'd say.
Yeah, all right. What do I got? William Yam with a cracker of a kingfish in the north. Awesome work there, legend. Brett Davey with a nice king from the north. From the beach. I think I remember watching the video. I think it was him and his kids there managing to get that. So awesome work there, legend.
We got Damon Sheriff with a Stonecrow snapper in the north.
Yeah, once we talk about the man knows how to catch a snapper. Let's be honest. Damon Sheriff again with a nice brown as well. The boy gets out and does some fishing.
And we got Hooch. Oh dear, this is trouble. Hooch is decked out in the wetsuit, and he's went and got himself a nice crack.
He did, kind of looked a little bit like a seal in that wetsuit, and it's a vibe. So awesome work. All right, guys. Next couple of weeks are going to be pretty intense in the shop here and stuff like that. So this may be our last one, but we might try and sneak one in before the end of the month. So everyone have an amazing Christmas. Stay safe. Hope you guys get out and get the fishing, and hope the weather gets better so people can get out and do it.
I'm going to be fishing, so
you'll be fishing out of the way.
We're probably not going to get
that. That's okay. I'll be working.
Yes.
All right, guys. Merry Christmas.